Just like a fire. You better stop moving. Just like a fire. Burn it. Burn it. You better stop moving. Just like a fire.
Here. Whoa. My 3-year-old is loud, man. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Trying something different today, or attempting something different. I don't like that word. I even like to use it differently. But shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. We got the lemon shirt, okay, with the pink pocket square to match the pink shirt. All right, trying to think blue and pink. Trying to find the right suit jacket for this color, but I think I pulled it off. We don't know. You tell me. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. And let's get that music back up and running. I'm going to make sure I have everything up and running over here. Nice and nice. And today I'm going to go no green screen. I'm just going to use the background here. You're going to see me regular in real time. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. $70,780 for Bitcoin. Let's jump on in. Have a wonderful day. God has blessed us with another beautiful one. Thank you so much for your time. Your time is really all we have. It's all I have. It's all you have. It's our time. And we're sharing it together right now in this, this is it. This one last, moment. Let's put the lemon in the water before I forget, wearing a lemon shirt, right? So we put the lemon nicely into the water. And I'm telling you, lemon natural, just positive. They say just smelling lemons is positive. I have a lemon on my hands. It's okay. It happens. We take a big sip of the lemon water. We stay hydrated. We decalcify the pineal gland, and we even get an extra alkalinity to this. Even though it's a citric acid, it's an acid, right? It turns into alkaline inside the body. Look it up, Google it. It's amazing what happens here with the lemon water. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Please hit the notification bell to find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Please subscribe, and if you like the vibe that I provide, right? Remember that old thing? If you like the vibe that I provide, please subscribe. Anyway, let's jump on in. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate all of you for being a part of the live stream and kicking it with the lifer. Lemon is bullish. Even a bear is growing bull horns. God bless my people. What's up, General Lifer? God bless everybody. Well, the thing is, we had that pixelation too. And with no green screen, there's no pixelation. I could be a little bigger if you want me to be, but it's up to you. You know what I mean? I think I'm about the same size. I'm a little smaller than normal. I have to take up more screen to be bigger. I get that. That's what's kind of weird about it. Anyway, awesome call on RSSS from last week. Shout out to my man. Thank you for saying that. Got liquidated the other day, but I'm still here learning. Gonna try. You're going to attempt again. You're not going to try. You're going to attempt. Get rid of that word try. You're going to attempt. I know Gala got hacked for 50 billion. I got a little bit of news I want to cover at the beginning of the stream. I usually don't always do news, but I want to cover some news here right off the bat, and then we're going to jump on into Bitcoin. But I posted this to my group because I found out about it last night. I think about 10, 11 o'clock last night, something like that. But yeah, at 10:56 on May 20th, Gala experienced a significant security breach where an unknown hacker exploited a vulnerability, minting approximately 5 billion Gala tokens valued at around $2 million. The hacker began selling these tokens in batches, primarily through decentralized exchanges, converting them into Ethereum. The Gala Games team responded by blacklisting the hacker's address, effectively halting further token minting. However, the hacker had already managed to sell approximately 20.1 million worth of the tokens before being blocked. The incident led to a sharp decline in the value of Gala, with the token dropping by 19% following the news of the hack. And some of these aren't even hacks. They're really they're internal exploits of the way the contracts are built. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. I'm not saying they're not right. They're not ethical. But what I'm saying is it's like leaving your wallet in the cab and being mad that someone found it and spent the money in it. It's even Gala admitted to their folly here. And we got to stop this. Enough. This is getting a little too much for me, probably for you too as well. Are you bullish on no green screen, or do you want the green screen back? I want to know. And we'll put up a poll here. It'll be green or no green screen. Yes or no. Start the poll. I have my personal opinion. You have yours. We'll find out what we feel about it. All right. But there's a poll up here. If you want to jump on into the poll, let me know. green or no green screen. So people want a green screen. Look at that. Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh wow. It's flying up that people want the green screen. I can put the green screen up in 2 seconds. We get it back up right now. Wow. Overwhelmingly green screen. We'll see how it works out. We'll let this sit for 5 to 10 minutes and see how it plays out. All right. But Bitcoin getting a little bit of a pounding here, 70,000. Another thing I wanted to talk about, one other piece of news, was the full moon, right? It's called the frog moon, but mainly the flower moon. And it's coming out in 2 days, right? Full moon calendar, get ready. But we have this beautiful May 23rd flower moon coming here at 9:53 in the morning. And here it comes. So in 2 days, we have the full moon. Bitcoin does, it has been known to mythically pump around the full moon. And we actually even looked at the data, and the data even suggests more than likely it does pump on the full moon. So something to think about. We want a green screen for a green day. Interesting. They want the green machine. They can't handle it. They want the green screen. All right. Green screen has to come back. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Right? It is what it is. Funny how I pulled the screen right up there, huh? Crazy. I want a perfect stream where I don't do any buffering. That's the only thing. And somehow the green screen is creating it a bit, but Democracy won. 69% of the people say they want a green screen of 300 of the votes. It's a lot of votes, So it is what it is. I am down 1 like today for whatever reason. I'm going to have to look at that. Let me see. Maybe it's just my button. There it is. Looking good. Shout out to Cesar Cordero. Anything but a red screen. Back inside the charts. I like to see more of you, Sammy. Standing ovation. Okay. Hey, I attempted to do something new, and it wasn't what the people wanted. It wasn't. All right. Do what makes the image better. See, that's what makes the image better. I love Raves on Records, man. He knows. We need more likes than votes. Anyway, so I moved up along today on Bitcoin, and I'm still in it. I'm flopping and groping, but I'm still in it. I'm not flopping and groping. Really, I'm still in it. Down $52. We'll see what happens. But I didn't lose, right? I did wake up at one point. I was up $80, but it wasn't enough for me. I was greedy. I wanted to hit the target. So we'll see what happens. But that's just so you know what I'm doing right now. If you're in the live, you're in the right place at the right time. Shout out to Crypto Bear Baker in the house. Would the Gala incident affect the long-term progress? I mean, a lot of FUD for Gala. They already had that other FUD where there was some fighting between the bosses and MYRIA back to 6.6. That's what I like to see. Getting a bounce off the accumulation zone. I own this coin. All right. So of course I'm more biased and I'm bullish about it. But I also study technical analysis. And when you come boom, double top, and you eventually break back down to the 786 fib retracement, that's a very healthy place to begin to nibble. And so if you liked MYRIA, if you thought it was hot in the past, it's crazy that you could have accumulated it this whole time and then still had it cheaper months later. Like we could just come to the bull run here now and start it again. But that's the market. But not every coin's like that. Some other coins are up further. So, like that you told us to buy Sol from the jacuzzi pool, man. Good stuff, man. Remember back when it was $20? $20. Sir, your stream time is the best time in my day. Amen. Shout out to Day Live Crypto Trading in the house. We love you. We appreciate you for saying that. It's very nice of you. I mean, you people are amazing. Why would I not come back every single day? Shout out to the 1,207 people here on the live. And I told you Bitcoin was going to boom. At one point I was bearish, when we were below a certain area, and I wasn't sure where we were going. But once we got above the 200 SMA on that 12-hour and the 22, I got very, I got very, very bullish for Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin broke above these yellow lines here, that was a big deal for me, and I kept telling you, once we broke above it, I remember that Thursday night we had a weekly screen share, and I said, watch the 12-hour and the 22. There's a chance we get above the 200 and we get a move. Next morning, boom, right? We came back down. We gave it back. We hung out below it again. I said, we must break back above this, and then what we did is we broke above the 4-hour first, which was very bullish for me. We had been below the 4-hour 200 SMA all the way since April 12th. So it had been basically a month and 3 days. And the last 2 times that we had broken above the 200 SMA on the 4-hour, right here after a little time below, huge move. Right there, a big move, even though we went below it eventually. Right there, a big move. Even if I was just swing trading, it was a big move, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last 2 times, it was like a leg up. Like it was the beginning of a leg up. And so I used the 4-hour and the 8-hour, and I kept telling you guys about the 8-hour time frame over and over again. And I opened up a trade with a stop on the other side of this, and I sold, and took my gains. We'll see what happens now. The 8 hours a little far away from the 21-day moving average. It looks like it's going to come back down. From my training and what I've done in my life and all the studying I've done, it's very likely that we come back to touch this white line, the 21 on the 8-hour time frame, right? On the daily, it's the 21-day, but right now, right, it would be the 21 moving average on the 8-hour. But we're going to get into all this. We're going to break it down. So my technical analysis suggests at the present moment in time that we do get a pullback for Bitcoin somewhere, sad to say, into the 68, 67, maybe we lose 70K again. I would not like, I'd like to see us hold, maybe this level here. That's what we got there at 68.5. But we don't have a lot of resistance. A little bit of chop. We have some chop here that can hold us down in the 70,000s. I would love to hold 70K. And we're going to do our research, do some deep dive, and look at all the time frames and find out the best analysis for the day for Bitcoin. But I take a look here at the weekly, and the weekly just looks beautiful. It was in a bull flag. We did get this bullish pin bar that I talked about. I thought this candle was precarious for a bullish pin bar. It was almost a bearish engulfer. But it threw off, it got the bears started, which maybe that's all they needed. And then the bears just got their face ripped off, right? And you didn't see me short in the market. I was long on this puppy making gains. And so if you were with me, you made gains. And I think that's the fact of being in a trading group too. Like, and I always say I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, but my trades speak for themselves. I may say I don't know because that's my emotions. I don't know. I don't want to trade on emotions. But my TA says to take a trade, I take a trade. My accuracy is bar none, and it's the technical analysis that's the accurate thing. It's the TA. I'm not talking about myself. It sounds like I am. I'm talking about what you can do. I'm talking about any human being that applies the science. That's really what I want to say openly, objectively, is any human being that applies the science. If you apply the science, look, we came to the 21, we bounced. This is the science that I teach. Low stochastic, 21. Hidden bullish divergence. Swing up to swing up. Swing down to swing down on the weekly, right? You got to start, if you can see, we saw, and the thing is, I used to maybe half see that, but be like, oh, what up? Like, now I see it and I know for sure, the weekly is like a smaller time frame to me now. I pimp the weekly out like the dang 1 hour, like the 1 minute. Like I understand the weekly so much more now from trading it. I've been trading Bitcoin since down here, so I've been in this. This is my life, really. This is my life. This is my net worth. Right here. This has been my net worth. This has been my ability to withstand the ups and downs of life and still be happy no matter what. And know that in the end, I was going to come out on top yet again, right? And look, like, I was up here. I went through this whole time, and all of us did. You all went through the same thing. If you're Bitcoiners with me, we went through the pain. We went through the ups, remember the euphoria of these runs? Oh, the euphoria when things are just running, the euphoria, man. And we're in a pretty good run right now, beginning up. We got 2 big weeks. It all starts with these 2 big weeks. So we'll see what happens. I'm open-minded to think anything could happen. Right now, Bitcoin's struggling to get back above 70,800. But we'll. So what do I desire this week? I mean, honestly, all I wanted last week was a close above 67,002. And last week we got the close, right, at 66,270. But we got above 65.5, and that was all, and now this week we broke 67.2. So 72K, 70K, that's all great, but I just like to play it one step at a time on the weekly here. And the key level that mattered to me was right here, 67,200. And we broke it. We got above it. I'm just That's it. That was all. I'm one step at a time, you know. That's what I look for. One step at a time, right? Don't push it. Little bits by little bits. And so we got this close on the weekly, which is beautiful. Everything is looking absolutely amazing. And so now we just want to get this close, right? This will close in 5 days. We have some time. This could end up red. We don't know. But right now it's looking beautiful. If we get and we could break it all-time high. And we're very close to closing the biggest weekly candle ever. We're like, you know, a few $1,000 away. So our resistance is 71,280. If I remember correctly, that's where this candle would have closed, at 71,280. Yeah. So once we close above 71,280, remember that. I know we've gone higher and all that, but once we close above 71,280, that will be the highest weekly close we've ever had. The MACD suggests it's happening. It's a little high, but it's beautiful. It's curving, lack of momentum. RSI is coming up above, you know, looking nice, and there's hidden bullish divergence. And the stochastics RSI is right where I want it to be when I find hidden bullish. So everything looks pretty nice. And if this is impulse, which it can be, and I pull my local fib there, we're bouncing off of a wick that came basically to the 786 and pretty dang close to the golden pocket. So everything is checking out to me from my model that I use to get into trades long term after they've retraced. And you've had, look, like 1, 2 with a spike, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 weeks. And it took 6 weeks for people to get disinterested in a market that has been ripping for over a year. It's just crazy. Like, we've been ripping since January 9th of 2023. Like, since we started to rip up here, like that, we've been ripping. Yes, there's been some pullbacks, some sideways price action here and there that got, there's always been these. It's in Bitcoin consolidates. It pumps, it goes sideways for 6 to 8 weeks. It pumps, it goes sideways for 6 to 8 weeks. It pumps, it goes side, So prepare for like 4 to 5 weeks if we're lucky at pump. And then the end of June, July, halfway through July, you're going to go through August, halfway through August and halfway through September, likely just completely sideways. All right. Everyone thinks the markets, when they close their eyes, they think the market's just this constant pumping. Everyone, I'm missing out. But really, it's like sideways pump. Like if you look at any coin, all your investments, there's like maybe 15 days in a 2 years time that it really, really gets pumpy. And then for most of the time, you're just holding your asset, watching it consolidate. People don't realize that. Like they don't zoom out and break it down. Being an investor is like being someone who lives in a library, super patient. And what happens is you're in there long enough, 5 years. I'm in there 15 years. So things that I put in 10 years ago, I hit after 4 years. So I've hit investments that I've been in for 4 years, like 5, 6 times now. You see what I'm saying? Some have overlapped. Like I was in one for 4 years, and after 2 years, I got into another one. Then after 2 years from there, I sold one, and then I sold the next one 2 years later. You see what I'm saying? So Bitcoin getting crushed now, losing 70,005. We got to break down the smaller time frame in a second for you and show you what's really going down. But what I mean is the longer time you've been in trading, the longer you've been able to, you've held long-term, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember holding that thing for 3 years. Oh, I've got into that and I held it for 5 years. And now the list goes on. Like 10 years from now, I'm going to add more. And then you get way more comfortable just being in long-term. And then you gain, hopefully you gain wealth. Like, right? You get $1 million. Once you get a couple mil, you're sitting pretty. I mean, like, it's not a lot. It's not tons of money compared to wealthy people. Let's be honest. You're just like, you're just entering the door, but it separates you from the rat race. It gives you time. You can focus. You can give your kids and your wife what they need. You can give yourself what you need. You can build what you need. You know what I'm saying? And then you can invest. And if you got it like I did, like as investing, then you're gonna eventually invest some of that money again. And the key is to always be an investor, but not lose it. Like, you gotta, and that's, a lot of people don't want to live in that risky world. They just want to hand it off to somebody else. They don't want to take that responsibility. And again, it's not for everybody. It's really not. It's a certain type of person that, that doesn't mean that trading and wanting to be a long-term investor too. Also, like they're hand in hand, but they're also two different things, right? So anyway. And again, I'm not a financial investor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. I'm just talking about the two different ways people use, trading. Sometimes it's long-term, sometimes it's short-term. But in the end of the day, the striving is for the wealthy move. And the wealthy move is to hold something for 5 to 6 years and make a really nice, come up. So anyway, let's take a look here. We are at exact resistance. We could triple top here for Bitcoin on the 3-day chart, right? Still says we have gas a little far away from the 21-day moving average. We'll see what happens. We have 2 days and 10 hours for this 3-day candle to close. But so far, that's somewhat bearish. We're hitting resistance and closing on a red candle at the present moment in time. All right. The stochastics look great. Everything else looks pretty healthy. But I'm just, and we're above a high volume node. It looks like we could stay here in this chop. The fact that we didn't fall through all the way to this node tells you that there was just, the gap wasn't even strong enough, which is very rare. Which tells me there was a lot of people with interest and a lot of money with interest, right? The daily, extremely overbought. Also at resistance, closing a red candle. If we close a red candle like that, that's going to be bearish, period. When the daily closed like this, we went down, like that, we went down, like that, we went down, like that. And so it suggests that we are going to go further to the downside for Bitcoin on the daily. We're very far away from the 21-day moving average. You can't be that far away for too long, usually. It'll be that we might go sideways for the next 5 to 6 days. That would be the best thing you've ever seen. Go sideways, lose some Bitcoin dominance, let the altcoins absolutely fly. If Bitcoin can do this and stay above 69,000, 70K area, right? Stay above this resistance here, or even this chop, and really just never lose 67K again, 67.5. I mean, we're going to be in business. But the daily to me needs to reset on the stochastics. It's overblown. And again, anything is possible. Nothing has to happen. I shouldn't say, nothing has to happen. Nothing needs to happen. All right. I don't I stay away from that word need, but it would be a healthy pullback for the daily. That this has been a huge move. I don't think people realize, I think it happened so fast, but you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. And we've gone from 61,000 all the way to 71. Bitcoin has gone up, 1/6 of its net worth in 6 days. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Up $10,000 and broke previous big boy resistance and point of controls. The 67.4, 67.2 to 67.4 was a big area. And we had major resistance at this area multiple times. And that's why I just kept bringing it up and kept talking about it. How can I do crypto trading? You can, you do it. All right. You just do it. Like you lather up with, So let's take a look here. The daily looks good. Oversold, overbought, suggesting a pullback. 12-hour, 22, 10 hour, all these time frames are overbought. Even the 8-hour suggests, hey, I got to come back down to the 21 day. So for me, as bullish as I want to be on that smaller time frame pump, which I was attempting to get a bit of a scalp there. Pretty sure I got stopped out at this point. It does show to me there's more likely signs of at least, a 24 hour, 8 hours, at least 4 to maybe I'd say 3 to 6 candles, which would be 1 to 2 days of a pullback here back to the 21-day moving average. Whenever you gap away from this white line, it's just healthy for the pullback. Very rare you're going to, let's see other times if you just, here we pump, we could be here, I guess, and we're just going to continue to pump, but eventually you're going to come back. We could be here and continue to pump. Eventually you come back, right? So there's no guarantees in trading. But what I've learned is every time you pump, you come back to this 21 on, no matter what time frame. You just got to get good at what time frame you're going to stick to this and stick to it. But they're playing around too with Bitcoin today. Definitely some feels like a false move Monday type of business. How far pullback you think? What about ETH? Lifer, I definitely re-enter. Shout out to Crash Gordon. So further down, look at the 4-hour time frame. A little overbought too, but it could still get busy. And to me, I just keep the 4-hour in this flag. It's also away from the 21. Just very unlikely we're going to pump when you're this far away from the 21 on the 4-hour time frame. Just like here too. We came up. I said, we got to come back to the 21. We came down a little bit. We went sideways. We pumped there, but eventually we met it. Once we met it, that was the time to long. I have so many strategies. You could have longed the 4 hour when it hit the 21 and hit this. And we put this in and we had it in a flag. I drew this flag for you. I called the 4 hour long in the falling wedge here. I said, I see a reversal coming for Bitcoin. I called this falling wedge right here and said, I see a reversal coming for Bitcoin here. And I drew this flag. I saw this as a shoulder head and a right shoulder. Like, I gave this to my trading group all before it happened. Insanity. They pinged me. They hunted me out. Possible place to enter the trade, dude. Let's see now. That 1 hour looks bullish to me in the flag. It just looks bullish to me. They yoked it. They yoked the liquidity. Just blah. I've seen that weird pattern before now too. It's like I've seen you before. Like my subconscious mind, it doesn't know exactly when or how or where, but it's like I've seen this. The 1 hour still looks bullish in a bit of a flag. Like we could hit all-time highs today. 77K. Where do I get that? No, that's too built. That's too bullish. But it says about 76,372 for Bitcoin. I mean, that flag still looks interesting. There's a chance the bigger time frames get yoked away from their 21s just enough. Tight moving averages here, not too bad. 7 minutes oversold. And so here's the deal. If the 7 minute loses the 200 SMA, we short. If we continue sideways and stay above the 200, then we're likely going to continue to pump. Right? And this may play out. Really, you could use the 7 minute 200 as my like savior. And you can see previous support as resistance really is that level. It's a 9-to-1 risk reward ratio. So you risk $100 for $1,000, right? So thoughts on using alt Bitcoin charts to spot breakouts? Yeah, it's interesting. We use it. How are you? Shout out to Amir Hamza. How are you, man? Funny how all the ETH haters have dried up. You know, and that's another thing that we wanted to talk about is the Ethereum ETF approval. Is the last day to be broken for the entire crypto industry. And shout out to Pomp, always out there. But angel investor and entrepreneur Anthony Pompliano, who is also a renowned Bitcoin supporter, has published a tweet about his take on the impact that an approval for the Ethereum ETF is likely to have. I definitely don't think it's baked in. You know, if they approve, they're approving the entire industry. This is a lot. No. Yes and no. Yes and no. It seems so weird how there's all this like back and forth. Like there's FUD, yet at the same time, when we look at it, they're gonna do the ETF approval. You know, I don't listen to the FUD when people get fuddy like that. I don't listen to it at all. I know that I'll be in the land of opportunity no matter where that land be. And I'll be with the right people at the right time, and God will have my energy protected, and I don't stress anything else, you know? I just keep doing the right thing for myself and my family and my peoples, and things go well. Like, keep the Crypto Lifer brand clean. Continue to grind every single day. No days off, right? Be consistent, be a beacon of hope and light for others, and there's nothing else we can do. All right. Blessings on blessings for everybody out here to be alive. I talked about ALEPH. It's at 40 now. We got it in at 25 2 weeks ago. You see my bag continuing to grow. Now I have, $6,200 worth of it, $6,300. And we earn the money now on this trade on ALEPH. So if you were jumping in when I was and you DCA'd again in at 35, we are in the monies with ALEPH. It's not amazing. I'm not going to say it's like, and it could take its time. But look at that. I'm always just kind of throwing you guys things that I'm looking at completely for free. And I like this consolidation. And when I compared it to the rest of the market, it was strong. It also had some good buzz. It had some bigger channels talking about it, which gave it enough, you know. And I like the tech, and I like who's behind. I like what it's doing. Very tight moving averages. Tells me that a move is coming further to the upside. I just want to see it consolidate tighter and tighter. The only thing is this may take a month or two to get to the target, right? Maybe the end of July when we finally are like, boom. But hey, I'm in for the long haul. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Everybody wants free money instantly, but it takes time. I'm an owner. I'm in the FLOKI gang. I just feel like that lower market cap gives it that edge. And I had FLOKI in this little flag here that wanted to break to the upside, and so far it did. So if you took any education from me and put that education to the charts and saw it, you would have been up 17%. Or you started getting into the low like I did, you'd be up even more, right? I started really getting into FLOKI in the lows here. It's up 71%. So the people that were able to buy the lows and suffer through the pain, not only are the other bags that were down back up hard, but the things that they bought on the lows are back up too. And you saw me deploy a lot of capital, even into Bitcoin at 58, 61, 62,000. Basically bought an entire Bitcoin around those areas. So, again, not a huge, but that's 10 grand right there, right? And then, a lot of other things too. So you start to see a big boom in your portfolio on days like the last few days when you've made the, buy the dip decisions, when most people have left the market, don't believe in themselves, don't believe in what they've done. See, it's about having conviction in yourself, period. But I see FLOKI going up more. I see the whole meme coin game getting ready for its next leg up. I'm good at predicting the legs and the next legs and the resistances, and I don't need fib extensions. My measured moves are pretty spot on, but yeah, so I see about 100% gains coming out of FLOKI here. It does make me sad. What makes me sad? Well, the amazing gains are over. I mean, your times to get in at the very lows, and a lot of these memes and a lot of coins are gone. Like that's a 12x where we're at, where you could end up being from that low, right? 14x, 15x. Which to me is amazing, but not even that amazing for a meme. All right. But if you're willing to 5 to 10x FLOKI, which I believe it could do some damage. And remember, it may not stop there too if you got into the low. Like, there's a chance it does a 50x or 100. All right. I believe it is crazy how there's so many different ways to read charts and still come to the same outcome. Amen. Yeah. PONKE is hot. Shout out. PONKE just keeps pushing to the upside. Whoever was married PONKE was spot on. That thing is probably one of the hottest coins throughout the week. PONKE. Look at it. It's out of control. Ever since May 16th, it has been ripping. Basically doubled up from 22 to 16. Let's just take a look. It's oversold at the 22-hour time frame. It broke 19. It's at resistance here at 42 cents. The 4-hour time frame has come back to the 21-day moving average. And that's somewhat bullish to me. Every time it's hit it recently, it's bounced. If it loses it this time, it's a major pullback. It does have some bearish div. Chasing PONKE might be a little hot right now. That's the problem when things get real hot. Let me see, wow, even on the 3-day chart. The 6-hour suggested it wants to pump. The 8 hours resetting back to its 21 says a little more downside. Yeah, see, look for your 15-minute to definitively lose the 200 MA, like kind of close it. Like spend maybe at least 6 hours below it. And if you start seeing that, then I would hold off on an entry. But if it can hold above the 200 on even the 15-minute, kind of a strange pattern here too as well. I guess to me this makes the most sense. It fell out, fell back inside. There's your flag. I tell you, a lot of times you'll make the best patterns by understanding that the head of the inverted head and shoulder broke out of the pattern. I've seen it now like, I don't know, I've played it like 500-600 times. Turbo meme coin is going to the moon. Amen. I bought PONKE at 0.05, sold at 35. Happy out. Wow, that's a nice 35x. God bless. And that took you some time. Look, I mean, everyone wants money, right? Let's talk about your move there. You got in at 5 cents. That means you got in somewhere in February, and you had to hold March, April, May. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Considering too, like, you know. Sammy, you're going to be doing another class at the end of the month. I guess the 1st. That's a good question. I believe I will. I'll ask my wife about that class placement, and then we'll get up and running with it. But it probably is up. She knows, actually. If she's listening to the stream, or if someone could ask her, I could, you know, possibly. But I stay in a secluded studio during the stream, and she's usually with the kids, so we don't have a chance to converse personally. Not every time. I mean, she can come talk to me if she hears me. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. That would greatly appreciate it. I mean, there's still a chance PONKE does one more number up to 62. But it's just high. It's very high risk at this point. You know, this is lower risk. If you're already in the trade, fine. You can move your stop loss to here and see if you can get the runner. You know, but chance that bearish divergence starts to kick in and you start to, you know, come further to the downside here. You are getting the moving averages pretty far apart. 21's getting really pulled away from the 50. Usually that's a sign of a pullback. At the same time, it's been super hot and it's in a bit of a flag. So it's giving me, it looks bullish. I just know that when you keep getting bullish, you know, and it's got the parabola go. It's got the parabola too, though. The parabola looks legit to me. It would have to break the parabola. So, I mean, this thing looks bullish. I would have to say that it's still bullish until it's not. I mean, it's got a higher low. So unless it breaks this low and starts to put in a low here, I remain bullish on PONKE. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does continue to the upside. That's my final take on it. And I could be wrong when it dumps to the downside. You never know. I can't figure out these trading platforms. Bottom below in it and don't even see my order. All notice a $28 fee. But can you check BONK? Yeah, let's take a look at BONK for you. And put in a super chat for TA and deep dive, everybody. I did a nice freebie for this guy here, but it just, you know, putting in the work. I kept saying BONK was going to make a move to the upside. I talked about, I went over numerous times. I gave a entry with a stop loss and everything. Stop loss now can be brought to break even. BONK is now up nicely and headed, you know, my target's 130%. From our entry, BONK is now up 50%. And so we're starting to hit some, you know, gains are starting to kind of pour back into the trading group again and on a pretty big scale. There's been some money being made here on, you know, we're trading Bitcoin lev. I trade Bitcoin leverage basically almost every day, you know, if I see a setup worth it. And then I funnel that money into altcoins, swing trading them. That's kind of what I do. Plan is what, you know, you take 10 grand, right? Every time you turn it into 15, you take out the 5. You swing it into an altcoin that you hope to 10x. What you end up doing, and you do that 4 times. What you end up doing is taking out 10 grand, using 10 grand, and then you still have the 10 grand in the futures account too, when it's all said and done. But what you end up doing is you end up taking 200%, 20,000, and then if you can 10x the 20,000, you make 200 grand. And that's an idea to make 200 grand out of $10,000 and then still have the initial 10,000 to play with. So, but that's like, these are things that I pull up in my head. Again, you have to be highly skilled. You have to know how to use leverage just to your advantage, just to take 10 grand and turn it into, you know, 15,000. That's a 50% portfolio upgrade. You got to know how to do that. It might take you a little more time. Sometimes it takes faster. You got to be able to just chip away. And you may not get it all done throughout the bull market too. It depends, right? It looks like the drift has ALEPH bull flagging all over the place. Nice, sir. Can you tell me what will happen to WIF? Who knows? But BONK pushing to the upside. Look for the pullback to BONK to the 21-day. Next time it hits the 21-day, that's going to be the entry on the 4-hour time frame. It's really simple stuff. Like it might go near it, touch it, hang out, but it's going to come back to the 21, make a bit of a flag. The stochastics will reset, and then BONK's going to continue through this move in the VRVP to the value area highs. I just don't see how it doesn't hit this 5254 area for 130% gains from when I first kind of put it out. And it was, you know, shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. BONK was in an inverted head and shoulder. It looked absolutely beautiful. It was setting up absolutely perfectly. You just had to trust the technical analysis and let the technical play out. 5-to-1 risk reward ratio, 22% for 130. I mean, you can't beat that. You put 10 grand in, you're losing, you're risking 2 grand to make 13,000. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. So anyway, and then it's already up 50% now. That 10 grand would be at $5,000. It's amazing, right? So anyway, just point of the story is, if you stick with me and you focus. Now, everyone else was super bearish here, bugging out, looking at Bitcoin. There was all this nonsense going on. There was like news, and at the same time, there was bullish news for Bitcoin too as well. And there was bullish meme coin news that came out about TradFi opening up funds with probably BONK and all these other, you know, and WIF and SHIB and Doge. And so, boom, right? Wow, look at this guy. He says, for the free TA you did, appreciate the lifer way. PONKE, man. God bless you, brother. So I give, he gives. And that's these are the type of people I want to be around every single day. This is the type of energy that I want to have around in my life. These are the type of people that I call lifers. They have this upbeat look at life. They care about me. They're never takers. They're glad to get whatever they get. You know what I mean? Shout out to Juice WRLD in the house. Juice WRLD, we never stop, baby. You come back in the bull, baby. Smart man, though. I see you. You know what's funny is I'm in the trading group last night and I'm scrolling and I see someone post like a gain with like this like yellow outline. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I haven't seen one of those in a while. And then I don't think anything of it, but my mind's like, I remember someone that used to do that. And then I look up and it says Juice WRLD, and I'm like, my man, Juice. I was in the charts heavily, so I didn't want to start conversing with people, so I apologize. Something, you know, I was just like, I was grinding last night till like 2 in the morning. Turned 20 into 120. I love that. We bought the fear. And shout out to the super chats rolling on in. I appreciate that. That's very, very nice of you. $22 in chat revenue. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Very, very nice. Nicest thing I've ever seen. Good morning, Sammy. Is it a cup in handy for Bitcoin on the weekly? It looks somewhat like one. Yes. 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 So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. So here's the deal. We lose this 200 SMA, downside. It's really all about this. And it looks kind of likely. You know, this has Adam and Eve vibes. It's not perfect, but you kind of like, you see this kind of Adam. It's kind of got an Adam and Eve vibe to it, in my humble opinion. Right? I got to stick to my prior thesis. I'll tell you what, though, I've seen both happen. I've seen the 8-hour do what it's supposed to do when we touch the 21, and I've seen the smaller time frames just blast. You know, but it's very rare. It's more likely we go back down. The problem with technical analysis is any day I could be wrong. Most days I could be right, but any day I could say something today and it could be completely off. Price action could do the complete opposite. It could be the first time someone ever saw me. But I mean, if I stick to my guns here, you know, the 21, in my opinion, too, on the 1 hour is very far away from price action. It just, you know, it's a shame to know that through what I've taught myself that we're gonna, you know, come slamming now back down to this 21. So they're gonna go get the longs now that are heavily. So anyone who's heavily leveraged long, convinced we're going to the all-time high, looks like they're gonna come get you. All right. And so what I want to see now is I want to see liquidity below us here on BOOKMAP. Maybe that wasn't even here before. And we got it. We got some here building, see, all the way down to 69.7. And that makes sense to me. So, right? That would be 68,000, 69. Yeah. There's the high volume node there at 69,700. See the VRVP and your fair value gaps. You got a huge fair value gap too. Let's talk about that. ICT concepts. I mean, that didn't hit that. I mean, that has to be, you know, liquidity has to come back down there. And it's funny, whether you trade liquidity with ICT or you trade my 21-day moving average, they seem to go hand in hand as well. Now, we didn't fill this gap too here. We got a pretty big gap here. Does it mean we're going to fill it? Doesn't mean we're going to fill every single gap, but you got to be, this gap looks very likely that we're going to come in, maybe even tap into it. Might go halfway through. So we have a big bar liquidity if you're an ICT fan. We have the 21-day moving average. We're oversold and this is just likely we're coming back to the downside for Bitcoin. Pull back to the 21. I'm going to wrap it up in a bow for you here. The smaller time frames may fake us out and look somewhat interesting. They tried to get me this morning, but I'm going to stick to my, pull back here. Bearish divergence on the 1 hour time frame too as well. And that, and so there we are. Oh, today's the pool day. Today someone comes and cleans the pool. So interesting. Every Tuesday, somebody cleans the pool. And I find like I'm living in some fantasy land, everybody. I was a middle-class kid. My dad was like, go outside. We never had a pool. All right. We had, my dad maybe could have bought a pool. He didn't want to. It never even hit him to buy a pool. Like, we lived on basically 2 acres of land, 1 3/4 acres of land in the summer. I mean, we went to the beach. We were, in my defense of my dad, we lived in a beautiful island with beautiful weather. And we lived from like a pond where you could then take a boat to a beach, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes in our own little private area. Where my parents bought their little summer house in 1971 or 78 or something like that. My dad's first house for $100,000. It was in the middle of the woods. In a surrounded by a couple horse farms, surrounded by 3 or 4 horse farms, off of one main road, but about a couple miles in, and just, man, it's beautiful. It was such a blessing for me every year to grow up in places like that. And so where I moved here in Sarasota, it looks a lot like that. It really does. It looks like where I lived in the summertime. And so like, I named my daughter Summer because I love the summer, period, right? And get a Stingray. It cleans the pool for you. Yeah. A lot more simple. If Bitcoin is up overnight, US will dump on open. This happens nearly every day. There's the pool guy. It's a lot more simple. If Bitcoin is up overnight, the US will dump in on open. This happens nearly every day. Interesting. Salisbury Beach, baby. Shout out to John Gagnon, my man. Yeah, so I see a pullback into this area. 68,500 is likely for Bitcoin. That's the area I would start to look to accumulate some more BTC or to get back inside of a big long. There's a chance we bounce. I am not the king of all things. There's a chance we bounce and we stay tight inside this channel. And Bitcoin booms. I mean, that would be beautiful. So I'm looking for both of these. Either could happen. Either way, the 21-day moving average has to come into price action, in my humble opinion. Shout out to a $20 super chat coming on in here. Unbelievable. This guy just knows how to throw it out there. $20. And he's in the member. Good morning, Sam. If you have time to shed some light on our good old AERO, thank you. Have a blessed day, boss, my man. Why are you not doing trading on the live? I was in a trade. Yeah. Always fun times on the stream with you, Sammy. Yeah. And I don't have to do what you tell me to do. And I don't have to answer the questions that you ask me. I'm nice that I do. All right. Always fun time on the stream with you, Sammy. God bless you, brother. Thank you. Grayscale sell-off engaged. Funny. People always come back to the place or the similar places that we like when we are children. Interesting. Yeah, so I really liked summer. That was where I felt the best, Bang. So yeah, I'd like to see us pull back into this key area for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the DXY and see what's happening on the dollar index today. So we're hugging the 200-day moving average on the daily. I showed you the 3-day looked absolutely bearish and wants to dump. Let's like really look into this and see what's happening. Get rid of my scribble, the moving averages for a second, and just contemplate here on price action. I like how it stopped right there too, right? Shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. This falling wedge, broke to the downside here. A rising wedge, so sorry. This rising, I'm getting old, huh? Sound like Joe Biden over here. So this rising wedge broke to the downside. Where am I again? Oh, I know a fly plane. There's a fly flying around. Oh, sorry. I'm a fly guy. I've been fly since I drove that truck that I never drove. I'm just so. Yo, so look, all right. So look, we. So look. We hit one of us. I just, you know why I'm laughing? Because like you have to laugh when reality is that crazy, right? It's like, 20 years from now, when all the feelings are gone and people look back, they're gonna be realized like, wow, like that was nuts. What was going on? You know what I'm saying? Like when like everyone can really put back like how brainwashed they were or not, they're gonna be like, whoa, like I can't believe I was either you were in the sauce or you weren't. Like, you know what I mean? I love this. So look, 3-day chart had a little bit of a green move, right? But still low on the stochastics. Wants to push to the downside. Also looking at the weekly, you know, it's trying to couple itself there with a higher low. It's attempting to give itself a fighting chance here with a higher low. Take a look at the daily. The daily is also in a falling wedge. We got a beautiful dump in the last few days for the dollar index, which also provided a nice move for Bitcoin. So you want to see this falling wedge complete this right move further down and just have the daily kind of slump down a little bit more. We do not want to see the daily back above 105.13. We see that. That's going to, you know, just something we're going to be like, not the best. I want to see the daily lose the 200 SMA, get this 21 to continue to move down and get that we get that, like something like this. That's going to be a rally and a half. What I want to show people, I don't think people realize, okay, in its entirety here, is if you look at the date and you flip this upside down, okay, this is the DXY, right? You flip this upside down and you see when we pumped hard, and when we pumped hard, right? These are, you know. And let's look at the weekly. So like, look right here. And I was going to flip it upside down to show you when we pumped hard, but I don't want to confuse you. But anyway, this here, 2017, that's when Bitcoin had its major rally. The DXY dumped so bad. Institutions, everybody dumped their dollars for something better, right? And then we had our bear market, and the dollar rises through the bear market. Then we have our bottom, and Bitcoin bottoms usually, not exactly, because I bought when the dollar had hit its peak. I called the top of the dollar there, and I bought Bitcoin right there, but Bitcoin actually also went low. Then they dumped with the dollar in the FTX thing. So I learned my lesson there, but I still got, I bought 19K, so, you know. But so this also went down to 102 to 89, and that was the other rally, 20. And look, we've already gone, you know, if you can see, boom, boom, we've already gone that distance. And so this looks like it's, you know, it does have the resemblance of a bigger rally. Like if we now go the same length down on the dollar index, it's going to take the dollar back to that bottom area where it likes to bottom out, somewhere at 89.90. And that's just going to be, but I just want to show you, that's our rally. That's been our rally since Bitcoin bottomed in the January of 2023. I want you to just, I don't think people really take a look at this stuff. It's obvious, you know, if you know it, but to zoom out and really take a look at the DXY in this manner, I think really helps and shows you some good things. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. If Bitcoin dominance can give up a little bit of its power here, it can help out the altcoins. So see how dominance dropped like that? That is really good for the altcoins. Pretty interesting to see Bitcoin dominance just give it up in the last 2 days while Bitcoin was pumping. So when Bitcoin pumps 2 days straight, but Bitcoin dominance, that's huge for the altcoins. That tells you Solana, and look how we lost the 21-day moving average there. Now, Bitcoin dominance looked like it was going to make a giant move out of this. You know, the 8-hour would have to lose the 200 SMA. Again, I'm always using 200 SMAs in different time frames to play the game. You see? But we're going to look for price. And look, we bounced right there. But look, we are about to close below that. We close below that. That's going to be pretty good for the altcoins. And then you want to look at tether dominance. If tether dominance dumped for 2 days straight, you know it was the altcoins getting money. And it dumped pretty nicely. Let's take a look at the daily. It also dumped pretty nice on the day. It's attempting to recover a little bit today now. Some people are taking some profits into Tether then. But you can see when Bitcoin dumps and Tether dominance dumps together, it tells you, and Bitcoin's pumping, that's altcoin money right there. And you can see Solana getting in on that. Solana getting a beautiful pump to the upside, basically hitting 190. We're going to take a look at Solana. And you know I'm huge in Solana as I got in at 109 for 100K in front of the world on Twitter. Wasn't bashful about it at all. So, and I like, when I put that out there that day, I remember going to sleep that night and being like, what if it goes back down to 80 and you look like a clown? And I said, well, I'm going to deal with that. I said, I think I like the rush of putting myself out there, of being genuine. I said, well, I'm going to have to be genuine about it then and talk about the reality of it. And look at that look at that Adam and Eve double top that played out to the downside there on US Tether dominance. Below the 200 SMA on the daily is never a good sign for any asset. And we want that trend to continue to the downside. There's my target there at 2.31%. And we're beating this to the ground. Like, how much lower can it go? It's crazy, right? We've been sucking out all the Tether out of the market. When I started, there was no Tether. It was BTC. You traded BTC pairs or you did not. That was it. You had to trade Bitcoin pairs. And we're going to show you some Bitcoin pairs right now, kind of to bring you into that now. So, like, old whippersnapper said, I wanted to make this show a full show today. And I thought about how can I round it out and make it an amazing show. And last night when I was kind of preparing, I spent I spend 6 to 7 hours preparing for the show every night. No, but I spend some hours going through what I want to talk about, what I want to build the show. I kind of write a bit of an outline sometimes and take myself through where I want to bring you mentally, right? Bitcoin pairs changed my life. Now, if you're an OG like me, you traded Bitcoin pairs. That's just what you did. You didn't know any different. You didn't know anything better. We didn't have US Tether as prevalent as you guys do or as I do now. Okay. Now, I'm reading your super chat there. Shout out to Crypto Sam. Shout out to True Allies. Why is XRP pumping? We'll take a look. 55 cents is not a pump. Paul Wood, I love that. Sammy, I'm currently heavy in MATIC. So far, L2s have been somewhat lackluster for price action. Do you see an L2s season? Honestly, I believe all tides will rise. MATIC will pump. But the hotter coins are RWA, and you got to be in the right narratives. That's why I'm in Based AI. I'm in all these coins that haven't really popped yet. People think they're not as popular. Ton and whatever goes under the ton, not coin. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff later on in the show and when we kind of rip through all coins. But, I hold MATIC too long term and, sometimes regrettably so, but I don't regret it. I'll stay the course for it and take my money when the market's at a higher point. Right. Sam, you're definitely an OG in the game. Much respect. I started trading altcoins in 2016 on Bittrex. Today's my last day of chemo. God is great. God bless you, Johnny Tavares. I hope you beat that cancer and it never comes back. May you stay blessed, my friend. And may you keep your connection to God and keep the faith, my friend. God bless you. Speaking of summer, I'm outside planting flowers and listening to your live stream. Listen to that. He's outside planting flowers and listening. Dude, you're making me like, that's the life right there. Touching the ground, being outside. Sam, do you do fun airdrop? I do. I do grass.io, get grass, right? Get grass. It just shows my IP and stuff, so I don't want to show it right now. But get grass is a great way. You can install it. Again, it's up to you. You're using like somewhat of your internet location to share with, I guess advertising at one point. But getgrass.io is a really good place to earn on your internet. And we could see big things come. I did Egan Layer. I stake, liquid stake Ethereum on multiple platforms like Swell and Renzo. Yeah. And I did this stuff a long time ago, and now it's just kind of sitting pretty. All right. I got a lot of free EtherFi from that too as well. Sorry if you took my questions the wrong way. Shout out to Paul Wood. No worries, man. God bless you, man. Sorry. Excited to be back with the Lifers Day 333. Shout out to Chris Gross, man. We love you. Thank you for being here. So we want to see Tether dominance. So today we went over Bitcoin. We went over the DXY. All right. We're going to take a look at the S&P futures, ES1. All right. I called the pump for the S&P future. I said, look for this 1 hour time frame to pump like you've never seen it. And so far, it's getting tighter and tighter with the moving averages. I'm looking for the S&P to blast to the upside. I'm calling for a move on the S&P here. You can trade the S&P with BingX. I do have a link to BingX, and you can trade the S&P there. Bitcoin ETH chart, looking at it. So ETH ETFs in the rumor. So if Bitcoin goes down, you know, and that could be a little bit of Bitcoin dominance, right? And this is another reason why I think, you know, being in a trading group is key, because putting all this together in the first week would probably take a long time. It took me way longer. So look at the ETHBTC chart finally getting some love. Finally getting the breakout. Now, if you can break above its that 200 MA on the daily, and this long-term, like we've been in resistance ever since October of 2022. You're talking a year and a half resistance. And I got it locked up. We used to go over this probably every other couple of days, but after a while it got pretty boring. Can the ETF for ETH finally give Ethereum that move? Is it time to sell all my Bitcoin for Ethereum? There's a time to do it in every market, and it could be this time. Ethereum could soar. There's a lot of speculation on it right now that it has to soar. To me, I don't go on speculation or news. I go on the 200. If we close a daily candle above the 200 MA, nice little trade here for ETHBTC. I may even put in maybe, you know, half a Bitcoin in here and see where it goes. SOLBTC, I feel like, is the better trade, because if the whole market rips and Ethereum, we know that Solana's also going to rip. And if Solana's going to rip, then Ethereum's going to rip. And if Solana's going to rip and Bitcoin's going to rip, Solana's going to outperform, I believe, Ethereum BTC. Then you could take it even further. And you could take all your Ethereum and put it in a Sol ETH trade. Which we're finally getting a little bit of pullback there. Slightly. But it's still a pretty healthy trade above its 200 MA. This will be fun to watch. These three, the Sol ETH, SOLBTC, and the ETHBTC. Those are fun trades to watch because you learn so much and watch how they interact. And then you learn how to multiply coins inside of coins. Like, all right, I could take my ETH and put it into Sol when Sol rips. You know? So technically, you could take your Bitcoin, put it into Ethereum. Take that ETH, put it into Sol. Right? When Sol rips on ETH, sell it back into ETH. As Ethereum continues to rip on Bitcoin, sell it back into Bitcoin. And you could end up multiplying that Bitcoin by using Sol and Ethereum. And never use anything else. These are strategies people don't even realize exist. And there's so many in my head. I could write a book on all the different strategies that could be used in cryptocurrency. Maybe we should. So much going on here, but look at that Sol ETH. You look for that to consolidate. If it loses the 200 SMA at any time frame, right, that's a wrap. And this is how you think out the box. This is a different way. Now, if you look at it, the ETHBTC trades aren't amazing. Bitcoin really has been taking the show a little bit. So it looks to me like ETH took most of the dominance from Bitcoin. It was Ethereum. So when you saw Bitcoin dominance falling, it didn't go into all the altcoins. It mainly went into Ethereum. The big boy, and you can see it is at the top. And GLQ Bitcoin actually getting a little bit of a run up right here to the upside. Phantom BTC must be looking nice too. This isn't all of them too, so I don't want to hold that. And not as good as I would thought. Bitcoin took a roaring move, and in Phantom it was already pumped up a little bit. Interesting. Write that book, bro. Amen. Yeah, write a book on your strategy, but we need to see the live trading. Yo, man, who is this guy that keeps doing this to me? I don't like negative people. I gotta remove him. And I don't like removing people, but I just can't do it anymore. I can't. I don't want to be around like weirdos. Like, I don't know how. It could be some like strange dude that never leaves his house too. I gotta remember that. Like, it's a great idea. Would you consider doing a publication on the newsletter? I leverage my Bitcoin Michael Saylor style and never sell my Bitcoin. Use the value. Where do you leverage it at? Where do you leverage your Bitcoin? See, I don't like to. I'm risk adverse to assets that I never want to give away and that I believe could be generational for my family. So I'd be very weary to be leveraging my Bitcoin to anybody for any reason. All right. Who cares what he talks? Those who know will know. Amen. Kind of all the negative people. Amen. Amen. Just the move today would have to be a short, and I'm just not, I don't really like short in a bear market to say, but I mean, it does suggest, look, if we look at the 1 minute, we lost the 200 MA right there. That was our signal for a short. Came for the bearish retest, dropped it again. See, there's now resistance at 70,005. A little bit of bearish div right there. But if we're going to be bearish, we're going to make some type of bear flag. It can continue further to the downside. It's today Tuesday, right? Yeah, but yesterday was massive. You have to remember too, like the market's just sitting in like, what just happened? Like, you know how many people got liquidated yesterday on their shorts? They became our exit liquidity. Thank you. You know, I had to actually write a long letter this morning. And, you know, the letter was, you know, I have it here. Let me get it out here. And, you know, it says, you know, dear bears, thank you so much for all the exit liquidity you provided all these times when I've called along. I've thought about my life and all the ups and downs, and I realized it was you all along. It was you, bear. It was you. For you and for all the bears out there that forced the price further to the upside through getting their stop losses liquidated and becoming the buyers of a massive rally to the upside, I thank you all. You've bought me so many things and so many nice clothes, my Escalade and all my nice things, and I just want to say thank you, because without all your exit liquidity, I may never be the crypto lifer. Oh, what a big day. Shout out to all the, you know, beautiful day. I want to hear that Jimmy music, laughing out loud. Oh my gosh, right? Such a sweet, kind letter, right? You know, but it's no, and but when you think about it, it's the facts of life. You know, someone goes down if you go up in this game. All right. So either you're getting taken or someone you're taken, right? And a lot of people shorted the market the wrong way. You know, whoever called that cringe or didn't like that was probably someone who shorted the market, right? Did anybody here short and get pounded? Just be honest. It's okay. I've been wrong. I lost my trade today. You know, I lost my trade live in front of everyone. I lost $100. Like, it's okay to lose. It's just better to admit that you lost and it's time to move on. Can anyone here publicly admit that they shorted the market and got absolutely liquidated? If you have the guts to come out here and say that, you know what I mean? For every buyer, there's a seller. For every seller, there's a buyer. Man, that pollen's getting to me now. Not today, but I have before. I did most of the days. Got wrecked. All right, so who got wrecked? You know, someone got wrecked. I want to put you in the trading group. Are you in the trading group? Matt Time? This name right here, Matt Time. I'm calling you out here. I'd like to put you in the trading group, man. You got wrecked. Let's give you a month for free, man. You know, and see how much knowledge you can learn. See if there's enough people to guide you. And you can leave after a month. See what happens, you know. But I just want to see if 1 month could change the way you think about trading and help you. All right? I want to put you in the group today, man. If you're willing to be in it. You're on the live stream, so I believe you want to be here. You're into crypto, right? I'm just waiting for you to respond. Can you hear me out here? Where are you, my man? I'm waiting for your name here. When I see your name, I'm going to call you out here. It was like my time or something, right? Where are you, buddy? Where are you, buddy? Is he still here? Lifer We X'd. I like that name. That's pretty cool. I don't see him here, man. Shout out to Cassandra, always holding me down. Super nice. One of the nicest people. Let's get it. Okay. Email with this email address here. Like, look, I can go to your channel. Email us with this at cryptolifers@gmail. At Matt time. And let's get you going, man. Let's get you started. Let's help you out. All right? Let's get you going. Let's turn someone into a positive mindset trader that will never look back. And let this day be the last day that you ever get wrecked again for the rest of your life. May you never get wrecked again. You may lose some trades. I'm not going to say you're going to win every trade. We're going to teach you so much more than you've ever known before and give you so many more skills than you've ever had. So you don't have to go back to work saying you got wrecked every weekend or every Monday or every Wednesday or whatever day you got wrecked after or before, right? So stay blessed. Look, I'm wearing a pink lemon shirt, okay, in sunny Florida. I live in Florida, everyone. I'm a Floridian, just so you know. Just want to make that really clear. I live in Florida, and my name is Sam, and I live in Florida. Nice to meet you. I'm from Florida. Hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Florida. Where do you live? Oh, I live in sunny Sarasota, Florida. So crazy, right? I actually live in the Alligator Alley, deep in Ocala. Anyway, so Bitcoin sideways. We've gone over a lot today. I'm super excited. The group has been attentive and amazing. Let me jump back into the chat here and see what's happening. But I've really been having a really good time talking to the chat today. It's been awesome. I really like to interact with you all. How much is the group? It's $99 a month, $3 a day to get my hyperactive brain. I never take a day off. I was up till 2 a.m. pumping out charts, talking about ideas, doing everything I can to kind of look for gains. And the things that I did buy in the last few weeks are up. All right. Absolutely. We'll buy back as soon as I get some money back. God bless you, man. Shout out to Cleveland Lifer. Sunny summer Sarasota sounds serene. Shirley, Sam, stay stellar. Wow, Paul Wood, I have to give you credit right now. That's amazing right there. I wish I could boost the chat. But that's one of the greatest alliterations. That's an awesome alliteration. Amazing at always assembling affirmations. Nailed it. We nailed it. We did it together. You know, did you see what I did there? Say that 3 times fast, right? Shout out to Live, Laugh, Love. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Can you get me in the group? I want to make some big bang cash. Shout out to Seasick Alexander. Let's see you around. Hang out. Send a couple super chats. Be a part of the group. Let me see that you really want to get it in. Alligator is delicious. Sam, you're the man, and your team have learned so much. Thank you. If someone could pay $100 for a group trading, they're in trouble if they ever trade. Sandra, I'm praying with you. Hey, man, can you do ETH quick TA, please? We'll take a look at Ethereum. Yeah. But I'm just happy the BONK trade played out. Pepe playing out. WIF is really next. Like, I don't see how WIF doesn't make a move. So on the Ethereum news, it pumps hard. I mean, that's a big pump in 8 hours, right? It's a huge pump. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. I haven't looked at Ethereum in a long time. All right, so let's take a look at our weekly on ETH. And stop abusing ETH, Sammy. Why do you abuse ETH, huh? And I'm going to look at ETH on the Binance chart. I want to see it all in its entirety. It tends to follow Bitcoin, right? It looks just like Bitcoin. It was in a flag, it boomed out, right? It just has a bigger secondary weekly candle now, which, you know. So support or resistance lines are drawn for Ethereum. All right. Boom, ba-dum, boom. Ba-ding, ba-dang. All right. So we know we have resistance here at 3,900. Basically, we break 4,000. The all-time high is next at 49. We're pretty close to the all-time high. Ethereum's, knocking on that door. It's pretty awesome. If you're in Ethereum, you're in the money right now pretty heavily, and things are going well for you. All right. You're not complaining about your ETH bags at all. It's slow and steady, but it pays the bills. All right, your money doesn't disappear. Your money multiplies. If you've been in Ethereum for the last 4 years, you're in some serious money right now. If you've been in for 5 years, you likely got in somewhere here between $70 right? Which is crazy. I mean, am I wrong? I mean, I don't want to be, yeah, fine. $100, $130. I bought my first Ethereum at $89. It's crazy, right? When you think about it. Big up Sammy Love from Toronto, brother. Shout out to my man Merv. God bless for the $2 super chat. You're the man. Blessings on blessings. Thank you so much for the love. Yeah, so it's funny. We tried to do no green screen. It just wasn't happening. People weren't feeling it. I just feel like it's not that much of the screen that I'm on. You know what I'm saying? But ever since I came across your YouTube channel, I've learned a lot of technical analysis, which is not BS. I'm from Sydney, Australia, and I watch your stream every night around 1 a.m. Kim Moon, we love you, man. At 7 point, you and thousands of people have told me this, so I know this works. If I take the class on Saturday, do we keep the material you teach via recording, or do we need to take notes? Yes, it's recorded and given to you after the class. Yes, I always have local honey. Thank you for saying that. And the ants were taking over this morning. There was about 100 little ants in my house. And I still see them now. They're getting in. I don't know how they're getting in. Looks like from a corner of the window here. Little ants. Not good. They could be the fire ants, and they scare me. They're tiny, but they hurt. And what if I was on the stream just like dancing around, like getting bit by ants? It's possible. It's possible. All right. Hold on 1 second. I gotta like blow my nose over here. Apologize for that. This is real time. I don't want any like. Got to make sure I'm official over here. Anyway, sorry about that. Apologize. Let's get that music back up and running. Different type of show here, but Ethereum was strong. I mean, look at that weekly candle, and that's got a big. To me, it has a. I say the whole leg here. And it'll take some weeks, but you're looking at a $5,600 Ethereum. It says somewhere into August. And that's really when the rally starts to really get in. Then we're going to get a pullback. Then we're going to, and what's my high for Ethereum? Well, I look at the market caps. When people ask me this question, it's a bigger general question of the market cap. So the whole market cap in all of cryptocurrency, all right? That's like the one thing that, and you can see, like, in the history, what it is too is if I get dust, I'm allergic to dust. So if I was wiping things that I shouldn't today, like windowsills and stuff, because of the ants, and then I was vacuum cleaning, and it brought up some dust. I'm allergic to dust. That's what it is. People don't believe me, but I really am allergic to dust. Some people are like like dust gets them going, and dust will get me. So I'll be fine. I'll work through it. But so we had this beautiful, we've had these highs, and again, in the market cap. But the last time, we got this high, we got the $4,000 market cap. People are talking how high the market cap could go. There's people saying 8 to 9, $10 trillion market cap. I mean, this time around, I'm more conservative at a 5 trillion, let's say $7 trillion market cap. All right. Bitcoin gets to 200,000. Or maybe even 150,000, and it gets to a 3 trillion, and then the altcoins get to 3, and then a little pushover, $7 trillion. I mean, I think 7's kind of asking for it. Do you guys think we can get to $7 to $10 trillion, or is that a lot? Anyway, so I conservatively go to 7 trillion, all right, and then I go even backpedal back to so I see a double up, and then some frothiness. I say at $10,000. I don't know if you get bigger than $10,000. I don't see Ethereum getting more than $10,000. I just don't see how that happens. But this could be its big rally, Anything is possible. I'm looking for an 8,000, somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000 Ethereum at the top, personally. Which is really only a double up from here. People look at me like, whoa, but I mean, you have to remember, you had to be buying Ethereum like we were saying it. Funny, Ethereum really doesn't make you a lot of money when you think about it. It's up a little over a 3x if you bought the exact bear market. Like Bitcoin's up more than that. You know, Bitcoin was at 15, 16K, and it went all the way to, you know, a 3X was 46, 48,000. I mean, Bitcoin did a 5X, almost 4.5X. So it's funny. Bitcoin has outperformed Ethereum, and it's worth more. It's interesting. You never would have thought that, right? You would have thought for sure. Now, Ethereum may come back, like we're showing on the Ethereum BTC chart, and have its rally, and Bitcoin could go flat. All Ethereum needs to do is make a couple run-ups while Bitcoin goes sideways, and it can close that gap. But, you know, we still got ETF pressure. We still have inflows. We still have a lot more going on for Bitcoin than we had the last 4 to 5 years. So Ethereum gets back above resistance at 3,900, and its next big target is going to be 4,800, 48.8, right? 4,800. Now 4,800 even about. Go to my 3-day chart. My 3-day chart has legs and getting started. Once it breaks this, I just don't see how it doesn't rip. All-time highs for Ethereum, though, are still back from 2021. Around $4,800. So, you know, it's interesting to see Ethereum really lagging on its all-time highs. A lot of coins actually have hit the all-time highs except for Ethereum. I don't look at Ethereum a lot. If I did, I'd be frustrated. If I was like a long-term Ethereum holder, it kind of moves like Cardano a little bit. I'm in Cardano, so I can say that. I feel like you can talk about Cardano if you own Cardano. Yeah. But these tight moving average on the daily, and even though the Stokes are a little high, tells me this could double top, reset, and we'll continue to the upside here. As long as Ethereum stays back above 3,400, you know, you're really good to go. And it's attempting to even put in some support here at about 36. So we'll see what happens, but I see Ethereum somewhat of a, if Bitcoin pulls back, Ethereum pulls back. And you're looking at the 21-day moving average here on the 4-hour time frame. So there's a chance we just get an insane spike up. ETF gets approval, boom, 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 and this kind of creates another rally a bit for Ethereum to just bust through this high here at 44,000. But even then, it's going to get too far from the 21 and have to come back. You'd rather it begin some type of sideways price action right now, touch the 21, and then be on its merry way. So I'm projecting this to happen. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not 100%. I'm a human being. If I was 100%, I'd be some type of cyborg, time traveler that... Wait, did I just say that out loud just now? No, but so... No, but see, this is the level... You know, I would like to see this go sideways, touch the 21-day moving average. So this is my projection in real time. Might be a little more downward action too, where the 21 is. It's, you know... You can even pull a mini fib here and look for that 618 golden pocket bounce at 33.70. Not saying this is guaranteed, but this is how I would look for it. So I'm not chasing. Florida, home of the ants, flies, mosquitoes, and love bugs. Also, land of the the orange, representing Bitcoin baby. You weren't lying when you said those love bugs, man. One day I saw like 100 of them in the parking lot. It was absolutely out of control. It was insanity. Those love bugs are crazy. Hey, Sam, look at Bitcoin. You will love it. Bitcoin Kashish. I mean, Bitcoin Cash had that beautiful inverted head and shoulder. We waited for that run up. It went all the way to 700 finally, which is crazy. Let's take a look at the 3-day. The 3-day is really my go-to. See, the 3-day chart looks amazing on like 90% of coins. And that's the chart. See, if you don't pay attention to the bigger time frames, you miss the bigger money. That's what I started to learn. I started to think, the bigger time frames are boring. I can't wait that. I want that quick money. But then I'd look back and be like, had I just played the 3-day, had I just done this, had I just, and I was like, I was so sick of it that I started, keeping a portion of my portfolio open for these longer term plays. And it plays out over time and it pays me well. I'm not saying I did this on Bitcoin Cash. I'm just suggesting, like the low there at 400. And then when the Stochastic, you DCA whenever the Stokes are low on the 3-day chart, and then you hold for a couple months. And 2 months from now, July 8th, you're sitting at 900, you sell off for 100% gain. Even more than that, really, right? And everyone else, talks about the news, runs around, and you're in and out quietly and silently with your move. Just doing your thing. That's why I like BNB right now. It's a hot play. But Bitcoin Cash just getting started. Once it breaks above this resistance, it's really got nothing left. I don't see how this thing doesn't moon and continue up for about 72% gains. 3777s there. Let's take a look at another coin that's making me think about is BNB. Now I'm just looking around like, do I have any freaking ants on my legs that are gonna bite the? I'm vacuum cleaning them up at a fast pace, making sure, and I feel bad. And then they're so small, they look to me as if they could climb out the vacuum cleaner for sure. So look, this is a little further behind Bitcoin Cash. The 3-day chart's just getting started, but it tells you it's time to accumulate BNB on a mass scale. And then let it go for 50% gains at 918 somewhere at the end of June into July. Again, is that guaranteed? Nothing is guaranteed. Had you done it here at the last consolidation like we're seeing, you'd have loaded up in February 6th, and then you were able to unload somewhere March 19th, about a month and a half later. So it tends to make its moves in about a month's time, and the consolidation looks absolutely beautiful. Anything could happen. I could be wrong, but this looks absolutely lovely comparatively from what I've seen in my lifetime for a 50% gain on a coin that is not a stable coin, but a coin that is very stable. All right. We just call it vacuuming. Yeah. When you clean up the ants. Yeah. Let's take a look at the super chat. SHIB, CLSK. And thank you so much for the super chats. We got an amazing group of people here today. $82 in chat revenue, 661 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. 1,500 people on the live stream. Let's get those likes all the way up, baby. Let's get it going. I don't know how we don't have those likes all the way to the upside. I stream every single day. There's been days I've woken up and I've been like, can I stay in bed today? So many days in the bear market, I woke up and Bitcoin is just absolutely dumping completely. And I show up and, I muster the spirit. I buy Bitcoin live. We push through. And then these days come. We break back above 70K, 71,000. We get to say, I told you so. We bought the bottom again, and we'll see what happens. I don't like to count my chickens before they Satoshi. Well, it didn't make any sense, but I don't like to count my chickens just yet. Shiba Inu bouncing off the 618 golden pocket. I just only see up for this bit of a shoulder head kind of shoulder there for SHIB. And the 3-day chart suggesting a big move is coming. So I'm on that 3-day. And you're going to see a lot of 3-day charts. It's not what people want because it's slow moving. It doesn't say buy me right now. It's for the convicted trader who understands how much money to put in, who understands what they're doing, who knows their risk and knows their timeline. It's for the old birds that know how to make the big gains on that 3-day chart, baby. Come make gains with us on the 3-day chart. Come expand your mind. Get off, and then you're like, but Sam, you traded the 1 minute on 37x leverage last night you made $200 in 2 minutes. Yeah, I can do it all. We can do it all. We can do it all. All right. I can show you how to short. I can show you how to long. I can show you how to scalp. I can show you how to take it for the long-term trade. I can educate you on technical analysis that you can use on any time frame you want to execute your desires. Okay? That's what this channel is about. That's what it comes down to. SHIB looking interesting to me for some gains. That's where I would consider buying SHIB. I wouldn't buy SHIB on the highs. If you can't buy the highs, if you can't sell the top, if you can't buy the top and sell the bottom, then what can you do? You have to dollar cost average on the bearish days. There's nothing, it gets really simple to me when you look at the chart. Like if you can't buy this big green candle, then you have to buy that red day 1, that red day 2, and that red day 3. Right? Those were nasty dumps, and they were really, really bearish with a lot of fear. Had you just bought those days, you'd be in some pretty good shape. Even right now, you'd be in some good shape if you bought this one and this one. Maybe would have taken care of that high DCA. Or you'd still be at break even at this point already for the net, and you'd have your bag packed while everyone else is freaking out. I've done this many times. Now I do it like clockwork. And I only buy the bear market lows when we're all whining. And I swing trade when things are hot. I might buy back into a couple swing trades a little in the middle of the rally and watch them come down a little bit. And it's funny, I could see that things were going to pull back. It's like my strategy tells me exactly what's going to happen. I listen about 90% of the time, but 5% of the time, even I folly. I'm not perfect. I'm still a human. But when I saw AITECH really far away from the 21 on the 3-day, even on the daily, it kept telling me this thing's going to have to pull back. Well, look, this is the sweet spot right here I'm calling out. And so far, it's still, it's going sideways in there, but it's now starting to kind of slowly round out here at about the 16-cent level for AITECH. I wouldn't be surprised if we get back to 64 and start a monster move again. This thing's been booming ever since 2 cents. It went to 48. It did a 24x. Came back down here to 18. It's the lowest it's been in a while. I own AITECH, so I'm holding it long term. I talked about UBX token. I bought it live on the stream. Not a lot of money, like $500. But I could turn it into a $5,000 position if everything kind of continues this way. But it boomed up from once I bought it. 65%. Still holding gains right now of about 40, So beautiful move there for UBXS for sure. And staying above the waterline here in the daily, So I like what I'm seeing for this coin. I just want to see it flag out again. But it's got such a small market cap. Once people get interested in it, it's almost like too small to go back down again. So I bought basically the bottom right there. And we'll see what happens. And again, I'm not right. Some things I buy are underwater right now. I wasn't perfect on a lot of coins. I'm not like, an evangelist here. But I'm a guy that goes at it every single day, puts his best foot forward, and eventually I know I'm going to win because I'm never going to stop. CHRP, one of my favorite coins when it first came out. We talked about it. We played this move even back there. CHRP. It reminds me something to do with, it makes you think of Twitter, right? Probably has nothing to do with Twitter. We can see again here, waiting for things to get to their 618 in between. So I don't know if they're eventually going to hit the 786, but once they start dropping in this area, and again, I didn't accumulate this coin per se, but this is where I start accumulating. And then I set a bar in the sand for a support or resistance level, and you can see, well, if this thing can, and then you set the next leg up, which is the length of the previous pole. And 90% of the time, you're going to this exact target. I'm telling you right now, if you've been watching me for years, this is exactly what goes on. And then you can add like a bigger time frame, hidden bullish usually. That swings down, that swings up. You got your fib retracement. And, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing starts to make a move to the upside. All coins are starting to wake up a little bit. They're attempting to bottom and say, I'm done. I'm not going to get sold off anymore here. Same thing with Miladies. What will happen is all coins move together. Look at this thing bouncing, double bottoming off of, an almost Adam and Eving there. Look at that's an Adam and Eve double bottom possibly for Miladies. Look at that. Big green move in all the coins after Bitcoin had that pump, and then the Bitcoin dominance dropped last night. Boom, right? And so that broke out of a falling wedge. And again, how I execute that wedge without putting the head of the inverted head and shoulder in. It's just something that I've seen many times. And then you can kind of project this next leg up. And people use fib extensions. They use all sorts of stuff. Elliott wave theory. I'm spot on with how I do this, and it works out. I'm telling you, you can ask anyone around who's been watching me for years about my measured moves. They are spot on. I do it with Bitcoin, Solana. I tracked so many coins to their all-time highs and close to them. And I was able to continue to follow them when most people fell off and didn't know really what was going to happen. I was able to zoom into the smaller time frames. I knew which time frames to pick. I knew why. Just like we did Bitcoin now, I used the 8-hour out of nowhere 2 days ago because I just knew the 8-hour was my guide. And I told everyone the 8-hour is going to be your guide. This is on the low. And I made a whole video about it Sunday night. Anyway, who cares, right? Enough about me and what I do, but I put out so much information to teach you what's going to happen, and then people look back and they're like, oh, I missed the call. I'm like, how did you miss the call? I screamed out loud, all you had to do was buy Bitcoin when the 8-hour broke above the 200 MA. Like I yelled it out to the world. And then I took profits even though we're out because we're too far away from the 21-day moving average. And I'm a happy man that I did take profits, So and now I've paid myself and I've executed, and then executing feels amazing. And I can regroup, set up for the next big trade. I was in that trade for a few days. I told everyone I was in it. It was a big time trade, right? I could have lost a lot of money. 2 to 3 grand. So funny, I've been doing the same thing for years too. Look, here I am, August 14th of 2023, trading when we get above the 8-hour time frame in a flag to the upside after we broke out of a falling wedge, you know? Bitcoin was 29,000. Like, let's put things in perspective. A year ago, around this time, we're talking, right? A year ago around this time, how much was Bitcoin? Today is May 19th, May 21st, right? I just like to do this. So this day, on this day, today, of 2023, so Bitcoin was about $26,000. So let's be like, I mean, my net worth has, in a year, my net worth has gone from, you know, let's just say, you know, it's a lot has happened in the last year. All right. A lot has happened in the last year. Let's put things into perspective for now. I don't think we do that enough and realize where we really are in crypto and in our world. So we've depicted that we're going to the downside. We've gone over this idea. We're all pretty cool with it. We are continuing to the downside. I'm not opening up a long. There's no longs being had right now. If anything, yeah, you short to the 21. You could likely short all the way into this green box. All right, that's also a fair value gap. There's a node here. We could bounce off of 69.7. There's a chance. And then our old BOOKMAP, we look for liquidity just to back us up to see if it's there. It doesn't have to be. It's not 100%. And it's not as thick as we'd like. It's a little vague. But there's a little bit there at 69.5. And now this big old bar down at 67,000 out of nowhere, right? Does that mean we go to 67K? No guarantees, but it just, you know. Oh, look at this red bar. It just came in right now as we speak. It's like, oh no, I want 72. Big red back up at 72,000. So still getting some mixed signals. It's not all red. There's a chance we bounce here and go sideways. That's why I have both of these up. And as long as the 8-hour keeps the 200 SMA, which is likely here, but pretty, you know, because the 21's above it now, and price action just has to come back to the 21. So I don't see how we continue to pump if the 8-hour and the 4-hour don't revisit the 21-day moving average. And that's just my last prediction for Bitcoin, that we have to come back to it. Whether we go sideways and touch it or come down and touch it, I don't see a huge pump for Bitcoin in the next day or two. I see sideways price action. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Right now, they really have liquidity on either side of us. 2,000 is closer at 72 than 67. So the smaller time frames be your guide. And you'd be surprised how much lately I've been hitting the bigger time frames, because I've been really, you know, like right now, if the 1 minute decides it's going to break back above the 200 MA, and for a Tuesday, like Monday became Tuesday, like yesterday was the day to trade. Today is not as fun. So we traded yesterday hot cakes. I'll trade when the trading is, it's like I'll surf when the surfing's hot. I don't get to put my board in the water when I'm not going to force myself to surf. I don't need to do that. You see? Resistance right here at about 70,500 for Bitcoin. And look, shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder, further to the downside here for BTC. And that just kind of makes sense to me. So look, you made a head and shoulder pattern. Enjoy your slanted neckline. And I'm late on this. I'm not going to try to say, oh, I called this one. No. And that's likely going to come further down, though, to 69,000. And once you lose 70K, everyone's just kind of like, you know. But you have to understand that when you get too far away from a 21, and I say this every single, I must sound like you guys must be so sick of listening to me. But this is just what's likely going to happen. You're coming into this fair value gap. You're coming into this white line. After that, you may get a beautiful bounce. Boom. And it's like a liquidity grab. They're just going to go after the longs. But it's definitely showing signs of a move to the downside. All right. Just what we're seeing. It's sad, I know. If you didn't take profits, you're watching your profits drift away. Now is everything following this? Is Solana dropping? And you would see, I mean, a pump like that, you got to sell it. People get euphoric and they don't sell into pumps. That's why it feels so good to be out of the trade right now and just be kind of watching. Inverted head and shoulder broke to the upside, but look at the 3-day chart. Look at the daily. It's doing exactly what Bitcoin's doing, a little on a harder scale. So you draw your trend line that you're respecting. Support or resistance lines that you know are definitely in effect. And the daily's going to come back down to that 21 and resettle. Possibly for a Sammy Cup and Handy. Pull a Fibonacci, and this is just the way of life. 618 bounce. Solana back to 156 though. The fear and greed index is pretty high. Tells me there's this. It's kind of a little too high, in my humble opinion, but you never know. And there you are at 69.8 now, getting a real. This is going to come down strong. I would short to this white line, and the stochastics will come down to the dotted line. That's what I see happening for Bitcoin. I'm just. The entry was not easy because I couldn't see like a nice flag there. We did catch this head and shoulder, but we caught it a little late. But it does look like it wants to drop further to the downside. Oh, what we could do now, though, is the falling wedge. Here we go. It's funny, like I know what to do in every scenario because I've been doing it. It's so weird. It's like, oh yeah, falling wedges break down straight down. And so your target's going to be about 69,156. And there's the long squeeze right now to the downside. And no significant divergence really on the 1 minute to show me, hey, that's going to stop. We pumped up strong. You got to take your profits. All right. I tried to go long again one more time. That you see, what I do is I keep going long until finally one of my trades hits off. And I lose like $80. Then I decide, okay, I get it. And then I look at the bigger time frames. I see we're too far from the 21. And I realize I either got to short or wait for my next long. And those are my options. So markets taking a pullback today on a Tuesday after a massive rally yesterday to the upside. We broke above weekly support or resistance. And you have to understand, we break above, we come back down. We test, we break, So once you break above, there's always the test now. Everyone thinks the break above is the continuation. It's never going to stop. And the euphoria builds too high and people get just too crazy there. We don't want to get like that. We want to stay grounded. We want to stay disciplined. Today wasn't the greatest day. I didn't open up 100 trades. We didn't get to scalp the market, but we learned a lot. I had a good time with each and every one of you. I felt connected. I read a lot of super chats. I read a lot of chat. I stayed in the chat heavily, like heavilier than some days. I'm so into the market, right? When I'm trading, I can't really read the chat. So the stream changes as we go. Let's take a look at CLK or CLSK. Clean spot. Last time I looked at it, I must have drawn this Fibonacci. I don't know if I called that or pulled it back, but it looks like I did. Said it was going to break out to the upside, and it did. I mean, you had low stochastics, hidden bullish divergence, everything that I go for on that daily time frame. So had some funky ups and downs again. Hit that trend line. And then it's getting tighter in the zone. Resistance at 8, 9, 18, 9, 36. I mean, it's just getting tighter in that zone. I'm not in love with price action, but I'm in love with the moving averages and where they are with the 200 in this high volume node. And I know what it is, and I know the project's hot. And I know who runs it, and I'm behind the company. I'm all about them. Clean Spark. So I believe they're going to do numbers based on the, basically how it's run and the management. But the daily looks pretty good to me. Let me take a look at the 3-day chart. 3-day chart's getting ready for a massive move. I like the 3-day chart. You can almost fake it into more of a bit of a flag. And this came to a 618. Basically wicked right near the golden pocket there. So, yeah, I see, I'm calling a move for clean spark to 37. And like somewhere the latest I say by like it says July, like a lot of these coins are showing that there's going to be a big move coming June into July, which is rare in the market psych. But this is different. The way they're printing money, we know what's going to happen in, there's a lot of anticipation into October. So yeah, I'm looking at LOVEPOWERCOIN. That was on my radar actually. It's funny. Let's take a look at LOVEPOWERCOIN, right? And I'll have to go, where did I see it? I don't know how I saw it. Someone showed it to me last night, or I saw it myself. I can't tell exactly how, but I believe I saw LOVEPOWERCOIN. And let's take a look. There it is, Love. 1.6 million on the market cap. Yeah. Oh yeah, MEXC actually has it. Yeah, just the market cap's just too small. You're taking a shot at something that's just like, I don't know, man. You almost have to look. This is when I have to look at it on spot, like this. See, I keep 1,800 cash. I got cash in the sidelines. I'm not always, and I got more cash. I keep. I'll be honest. It's in an ascending triangle, like just continuing. It's got such a low market cap. It's all about what I'm about, right? LOVEPOWERCOIN, right? But it's just a meme going off that narrative. But it looks somewhat bullish to me. Funny, it's $25 too. They made it a lot more money. Maybe it's not a meme. Let me take a look. They're off here. They're saying it's $14. Here it's trading at $25. So that's pretty funny. But that's why you just something to think about. You got to always double check your data. Your one-stop marketplace to mint listed buy and sell NFT collections. Buy, love, flame, AI artworks, features. I get it, but there's always Blur. There's always there's already OpenSea. I don't know. I guess they're trying to take some markets there. Love power market. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on it really. And if they really have what it takes to go there. We'll see. I don't know. It's so tiny of a market cap for me to be getting juicy. But we'll see. Let's take a look at AERO. AERO Drone Finance. And I like to look at the USD pair here on Coinbase. So it bounced brutally off that Fibonacci level. So if you were with us, we had pulled the fib. I had talked about 86 numerous times. Everybody knew if it was going to drop, it was coming to the golden pocket, and it came exactly there and bounced. Kind of an inverted head and shoulder there, but still kind of playing around. I feel like it fell out of this falling wedge, and now it's in a little flag that broke out. So it has nice support at a beanery. But, base has to wake back up. People have to kind of get back into the game, and you're going to see AERO Drone make a rippage. In my humble opinion, I'm in AERO Drone. I've held it since 30 cents. And I could see it go further up to possibly 3 beans. So AERO Drone looks nice to me. Looks like some gains are coming out of AERO Drone. And that's going to be my target there, about $3, right? For its next leg up. It's I wouldn't even think about selling any of it till that would be a 10x for me. Someone said XRP was pumping, and then someone said 55 cents is not pumping. Let's take a look at what I think a pump is for XRP. I don't know if that's a pump. It's better for XRP. That's a pump, man. That's a huge pump. It went up 10%. I mean, from 50 cents to 55. I mean, that's a huge pump for XRP. Are you kidding me? It really is. I'm not even being like that's like once in a lifetime. Like I'm joking and then I'm not joking, then I'm joking again, but then I'm not, but I'm dead serious. It's like a really good pump. Honestly, 10% is a nice pump for anything. Like we get really greedy, but if you could make 10% a week, you know, you'd be pretty happy. And and let's say you had $1 million, you'd make $1 million a year trading, right? 1.2 actually. Just what people don't think about. Again, you'd have to have a big, you know, the smaller that percentage, the bigger that portfolio. The weekly looks good to me for XRP. Like it wants to bounce back inside this pattern, but it has to break back inside. I'm gonna be sharp on it, on this idea. And this falling wedge really needs to break back to the upside too. It's pretty I feel like it did something like this. Like it broke out, broke back inside, break. So let's see XRP just kind of do its thing. But honestly, I'm done. You know, after I saw what happened to XRP in the last rally, I hold some XRP, but it's almost like an old trophy and a relic I keep on the shelf. Like it's just there because it has to be there. I should sell all my XRP for JASMY right now, honestly, live on show. Probably the smartest thing I ever did. MATIC, another one that just, you know, I don't got nothing much to say for MATIC. Oversold again on the weekly. It's been oversold. Every time it's been oversold in the weekly, it's going up on a massive run from about 26 to that high of 127. That ain't bad. Then this went from the low of like 77 all the way to high of 150, doubled up. This was nothing. This was nothing. And this was, you know, like 87 to 1, you know, all right. But MATIC really, I mean, and again, what you think is the new narratives have taken over. And the VCs and the money, they know what to pump and they pump. And you got it. And that's why I'm viciously watching the market, using token metrics, watching crypto rank, you know, looking at new things that are hitting the exchange. And I'm using 7 ways to skin a cat here because, and you know, for us to be as relevant as we were, to get into all the coins that we did, I had to work my face off, right? And we all know, and all of us do, we all do, right? We work so hard to keep ourselves in what coins are relevant. New coin, you know, old coins from the last rally, yeah. I'm not saying MATIC can't rip up, and does it go to an all-time high again? I honestly don't know if it does. You know, because after, you know, before I used to say everything makes it to the all-time high, but like, even the founders left and went to that other coin, Avail, right? So, not the founders, I shouldn't say that, but like some of the head coders, they went to another coin. I'm just, you know, MATIC works and it's got no news. No new person comes in and is like, oh, I'm going to buy this new MATIC coin. It's awesome. You know, it just doesn't, we don't see that. Dun, 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 MATIC. You know, so I don't know what's going to happen to MATIC. I hold it long term, but I'm thinking of bailing too. And possibly putting it on like AGIX on the next dip and just getting out of MATIC completely, or maybe buying more NEAR. I think NEAR is way harder than MATIC's. TokenFi is better than MATIC's, you know. MATIC's, I call them MATIC. Finally, a little bit bullish divvy here with a sharp swing up on the RSI. And a sharp swing down on the 1 minute time frame. Can we bounce back above the 200 SMA? If we break the 200 SMA, that could be the beginning of a move for the rest of the day. That's what I've been learning now. So just wait patiently for that to break. If it breaks, then we long. If we do stupid stuff, we keep making bear flags, we continue short. We're getting pretty close to the liquidity zone now. We're not that far away. So it's all kind of coming together here at 69,960 for Bitcoin. And last coin to jump on into here is JASMY. And honestly, I gave the greatest chart for ABT. If you're talking about ABT, my man. Like, so JASMY's just consolidating beautifully. Look at this. And let the daily come back down. Let it come down again one more time. Up and down, up and down. And I'm part of the JASMY family. So welcome me and say hi. I'm here. And I can see JASMY I just love that. That's consolidation. That just tells me a big move is coming for JASMY. I want to see it come back down to the pattern one more time. That level is 1.5 cents. If you can ever get it at 1.5 pennies, man, And it may not. It may kind of scribble its way on out and do a retest. But still, 108% gains coming out of JASMY. I see a move coming for JASMY. And yeah, I kept my ABT trade here because I put this out on Gate.io, 2957. It retested right there. That was the bottom, and then you would rip all the way to the target for ABT. This chart played out absolutely perfectly and was one of the hottest coins in the last four or 5 weeks. So, anyway, I poured my heart and soul out for you all today. We went over every single thing that I could physically talk about. Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance, right? The DXY, S&P futures, multiple altcoins that are on my radar, ideas that I have, thoughts, news, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Sol, ETH. Like, I mean, we covered multiple concepts, BTC pairs, talked about the past, gave you a little backstory to some of the things in my life. I felt like today was an awesome, awesome day. I still see more downside for Bitcoin. Expect the 4-hour and the 8-hour to touch the 21-day. I set it in stone, and I'm going to stay on that until it happens. So I love you all. I appreciate you. Do not overtrade. We got you. We're here for you. I'm going to go and feed the camels back here. Right back there. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Watch out for the sand. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. Sunny Florida, I love you. Thank you for having me. Sarasota, I love you, baby. And I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for my life and every day, as you can tell. I love living in Florida. I already love my life, but living in Florida just feels that much better, man. I'm looking out the window right now. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's 86 degrees and going to be perfectly sunny today. Absolutely perfectly sunny. And things are just looking really, really nice. So, man, look at that weather. A high of 89 today, mostly sunny. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. Remember, stay in the present moment. If you're worried, freaking out, things don't feel right, you're not in the present moment. We may get a reversal here on this bullish divergence here on the 1 minute. If we do, I wouldn't trade it right now. We're in a pretty sketchy moment. I'd wait for confirmation of a break above the 200 on the 1 minute. I do the same thing on a daily basis now. You see what I do. You see my strategies. And we trade the market when the market's giving us the perfect signal. Right now, I'm getting a bit of a bear flag here, like so. You're in the channel. You have to expect you'll stay in the channel till you don't. You hit the top of the channel. This is the channel here, this line and this line. And you're in a rising wedge. Rising wedges could break to the downside here. I also see a bit of a shoulder, head, right shoulder. Boom. That divergence was good. It was a strong divergence. It was good enough for me to say, okay, we could get a move. Let's push up. Get above that point of control. That's going to be the key there, back at 70,200. And I would love sideways consolidation on that 4-hour time frame. So I don't see a huge move to 76, 70, or breaking the all-time high for at least a couple of days. And I could be wrong, but that's what the charts convey. I'll be back to give my trading group more, but look for this to pump to the yellow line. If it breaks the yellow line, look for a massive move further up. Possibly back to 71.8. All right. And I'll give you guys an update on that as I see more. I did check all the super chats. I'm pretty sure I did. But shout out to all the super chats. Shout out to Kyle Vero. You are the opportunity. You're love. God bless. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Nick Ellegard. What's up, Lifer? Could you check out AERO? We did. Thank you. What's the next level of resistance on Ethereum? We talked about it at 4,800, right? The money is for a group Saturday class giveaway every week. Who's with me? I love seeing people win. Help the channel. Do it on the slow stream day. This money is for a group or Saturday class giveaway. God bless you, man. Thank you. Let's celebrate the third super chat on the live from Merv. Big yourself up. Love for Toronto. Thank you. First time on the channel, and I'm loving the vibe, man. Shout out to Trading with J-Ride. We love you. And Crypto Sam. Trustalize. Boosted Frequency. Eva Diore, the Edmonton Oilers Game 7 winners last night. Thank you, Sam Price. God bless you, Eva. So happy that you had that happen. My Bruins are gone. But tonight, the Celtics play at 7 p.m., right, against the Pacers, and we'll find out what happens tonight at 7 p.m. So everyone, I love you. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much again. And actually, I'm sorry. Let me just shout out this everybody. Mr. Singh, Nick Ellegard, Cairo Vero, Watch and Study, Merv, Trading with J-Rod, Crypto Sam, Trust the Laws, Boosted Frequency, Eva Dior, Gustavelli, James Jones, Jan Lennertz, Buster Crypto, Ali G, and all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you so much. Respect. Respect. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you. God bless.